As traders, we know a variety of different trading methods for many different occasions, but to be honest, it is overkill. We know way too much, and in most cases, we don't use every single one. That's why in today's video, I'm going to be going through the only basic trading method you need. This will help you go from starting an ultimate team to gradually making hundreds of thousands, potentially even millions. But before we do get into today's video, if you really want to get a head start, then there is no better place than U4GM. U4GM offers cheap, fast and reliable EAFC coins so that you don't need to know all trading methods. You don't even need to know this one in this video, because you simply use the link in the description down below, select how many coins you would like and the platform that you play on, and then those coins will be added to your accounts, ready for you to do whatever it is you want. To make this deal even better, you can also use Fanatic at checkout to get yourself a 10% discount. Thank you U4GM for sponsoring today's video. Now let's get back into today's method. The method itself, as it is aimed for beginners, couldn't get any simpler. What we're doing as a basic premise is checking the transfer market for a specific type of quality of player. We're going to be going across until we find a player with a bid on. Now, the reason that we do this is because if we were to go and check every player's price, it's going to take a long time, and most of the time they're not going to be good deals. It's going to be players listed onto the transfer market which have a higher bid than what their lowest buy now is. But by searching for players who already have bids on, it's a good sign that the reason that they have a bid on is because they're listed lower than their current buy now. So by just double checking, by comparing that player's price, we're able to see the lowest buy now options, and then we can go back to place a bid on that player, ready for us to list them back onto the transfer market and make a decent amount of profit doing so. So with that in mind, let's actually run through some examples. So firstly, head over to the transfer market, select the quality to be bronze, and then all you're going to do is search. And based on what we said earlier, all you're going to do is hold right on your controller as you scroll through each and every single player. You're going to keep on going until you see a player who already has a bid on. Once you come across a player with a bid on, you're going to add them to your watch list. The reason you want to do this is because sometimes when you compare a player's price, by the time you go back, they've disappeared. So add them to your watch list so that you can go back to them if they do disappear. You're going to compare that player's price, which is quite simple. You can select them and go down to compare player's price, or you can just go and press the compare price button on your controller. That will now specifically select all cards on the transfer market of that one specific player. Now, yet again, you're just going to hold right on your controller as you go through each and every single one. But this time you're looking for the lowest buy now. Chances are those at their highest are going to be real early on, but those at their lowest are going to be listed within the 59th minute. As we're dealing with bronze players here, you shouldn't have to go too far. There may only just be a couple pages worth. If originally the player that you added to your watch list had a bid of 150 coins, and once you compared that player's price, you realized that the lowest buy now was 500 coins, that's a good option for you to go back to your watch list, bid on that player for 200 coins. And as it is a bronze player, the chances are you're going to win that deal 9 out of 10 times. Now you just need to list them back onto the transfer market. I wouldn't go for 500 coins as their lowest buy now, as there is already another one listed, but you can go for 450, undercutting the cheapest on the market so that yours is now the cheapest. So if anyone looks for that player, they're going to buy yours. 450 coins means that you are doubling your coins after EA tax. And bronze players do sell. They are still needed for SBCs, and there will continuously be content which bronze players are needed for. Not every single bronze player will sell, but we're only focusing on those who already have an interest. This is all you need to do for this method. This can then be replicated for silver players. So when you first start Ultimate Team, you want to start with bronze players, get a few thousand coins, and then you could do the exact same thing with silver players. For this, you'll change the quality to be silver, hold right on your controller as you go through each player, find one with a bid on, add them to your watch list, compare the player's price to find the lowest buy now. If there's room for you to place a bid whilst still making profit, you're going to do it. If not, you're going to proceed and search for another player. You just keep this loop going, and whenever you start to reach a good amount of coins, that's where you can increase the quality. However, you shouldn't do it with gold players. Unfortunately, with gold players, there's way too many of them. Anyone that goes into any type of game mode, of course, they're rewarded with gold players. But not just that, those who are spending money on FC points are going to open gold packs. So whenever you do come across a player with a bid on, yes, it's still a good indication that they could sell and you could place a bid and make profit. But the second in which you go and compare that player's price, you are going to have to scroll through hundreds of pages of each player. There's way too many. You simply can't do it effectively. Now, with gold players, there is an option for you to go and use a site such as FootWiz or FootBin for you to find the lowest buy now. But that's not always 100% accurate. So with gold players, I tend to avoid them. I would use bronze and silver players continuously. It's easy for you to spend anywhere between 200 to 500 coins and then sell these players on for 1,000 to 2,000, especially the silver players. As said, bronze players normally sell for around about 1,000. There are some which go a bit more, but with silver players, you can get to the higher price range, considering they are some of the rarest players on the market. Once you have a suitable amount of coins by using this method, you can start to go and use these on Team of the Week players. Now, Team of the Week players are slightly different and you can't actually use it just yet because it is still early within game. However, at a later date, you will be able to do so. Once we get to round about Team of the Week 10 to 15, those as part of Team of the Week 1 start to increase in value. You can start looking at some of the old Team of the Week players, compare their prices, and there will be a price difference. Not just that, but with Team of the Weeks at that point, it's not just you relying on getting players on a bid. You will even be able to find some players on a buy now where you can buy them for a few thousand coins lower than the next cheapest, allowing you to increase the price for that player whilst still making profit. Unfortunately, I can't show that as of yet because, as said, this is something that will happen within the future. Likewise, you can also use this method with icons. Icons aren't the most common players in game, so it makes life very easy for you to scroll through, find players with bids on as they're approaching the final minute of them being on the transfer market, compare that player's price, and with icons, there's only going to be a few listed, potentially a page or two worth. Very easy to see the lowest buy now and place a bid if there's room to make profit. The thing that you need to be careful of with icons is because they are more expensive. The 5% EA tax is going to take up a much larger price. You're going to need to get these players a few thousand coins depending on their overall price, maybe even tens of thousands of coins cheaper than the next cheapest, which does sound like a lot, but if you're in the right place at the right time, you will be able to find these deals. If you really do not like trading and you don't want to learn all other types of trading methods, you can't go wrong with this one. You can use it on a lot of different types of quality of players, taking you from starting Ultimate Team, looking at bronze players, gradually increasing to silver players where you'll use that up until you get a few 100,000 coins. And then you can start looking at icons, which will give you a lot more profit per player, but it may take you a bit longer to actually find these deals. For reference, you're probably gonna win about 9 out of 10 of those that you bid on with bronze players. With silver players, it could be 7 or 8 out of 10. With icons, you're looking at maybe 2 out of 10. But with bronze players, you may be able to double your coins. With silver players, you can make a couple hundred, potentially a couple thousand coins. Whereas with icons, you should always be aiming for a couple thousand to tens of thousands of coins in profit every single time you sell one of those players on. If not, it's not worth your time. And this may go without saying, but it is also worth using this in between the games that you play. For this type of method, we're looking at something basic. It's not going to be making the most amount of coins within the world. However, it is incredibly easy and does not take that much time. That's what we're looking at here. It is a beginner trading method. So if you really want to push ahead without learning the many other trading methods within game, you need to partner this up with gameplay. Go through your matches, play games, you'll get 500 to 900 coins per match. However, you'll also be able to claim those rewards. Those weekly rewards if you're going through division rivals or squad battles, or the rewards that instantly get paid out if you're going through the Champions Playoffs or the Champions Final. We also can't forget objectives, which you should also be using to stack on top. That way you're getting packs, coins, and XP from objectives. You're getting packs and coins from the games that you're playing and the game modes that you're going through. And you're making a hell of a lot more coins by trading with these players. If you enjoyed this video, then I highly recommend clicking the next video on screen. That video will go through the ultimate beginner's guide so that you can hit the ground running the second you start Ultimate Team. Click that and I'll be over there to guide you through absolutely everything. I hope you enjoy.